Drive fast, park cars in the boulevard. Go far, might pull up on the Hall of Fame.
Oh, so it's between the fits right now. Got the model over there, you can't see her, but she's chowing down. Guess I so happen to wake up early. But, like I said, since I have such talented and unique and creative people in my midst, aka Amanda, I wanted to ask her some questions. So, where do we start this? Okay, so here's what we know. Amanda's a fashion designer. And how long have you been doing it? Yeah, let's just start that. Like, how long have you been doing it? Give us like the background of like where this started and everything.
So my mom did it for a living, so that's where I essentially got it from. And she taught me how, and throughout high school, that was what I wanted to do. But then I decided I needed a real job, so I got my first bachelor's in biology, and I worked in a pharmacy for several years. And then I decided I didn't want to do that anymore, so I got my second bachelor's in fashion design and merchandising.
Wow, so it started with the fashion influence from your mom, and then it came full circle later?
Yeah.
Like, you just like realized that was your passion, or what was it?
I think you get to a point in your life where you decide that you just want to do what makes you happy, and fashion design makes me happy.
I feel that. Like, that's how I feel with photography. Like,
right.
It's so weird. Like, you go on a path, and then it's like, oh, wait, let's go back to the original thing.
Right, it could have been so much easier if you just did it right the first time.
So in that, like, where are you now, and like how many years are you in the game right now? Like, how deep are you?
So I've been doing it since 2014.
Wow.
And it really got serious in 2015 when I started the DC Fashion Incubator, and I got my license for my business.
Whoa, that's a big thing. The DC Fashion Incubator. What is a DC Fashion Incubator? You have to explain this.
So the DC Fashion Incubator is a platform for emerging designers, and myself, along with 7 other designers, were the inaugural class. And it's a program that's funded by Macy's, so you get a lot of opportunities in that sense.
Holy guacamole, that's serious.
And
how'd you get in that? Like, how'd you get into it?
Like, you had to apply, you have to have a whole business proposal, and they, you know, they look
Make
at
sure
all,
you're legit. Like,
yeah,
they were like,
they look at all your work, and they want to see that you're at a place where you can move forward in your business and not trying to figure yourself out.
Yeah.
You know? So,
it's not like, I think I want to be a designer.
Right.
So that's cool. So you're still in that, and you're still in it.
So my term was a year.
Okay.
I was a designer in residence for a year, and during that time period is when I really kind of honed in on what it was that I wanted to do, as far as what my fashion brand was, what it stood for, who my target market was, who my ideal muse was, who I, intending to sell to. And I started networking with a lot of the people in DC because I was new to the area, so that was also difficult.
That's so awesome. Is that like it gave you like this network, but also then it kind of gives you this like the business aspect to the creativity. And I mean, would you say those are pretty important things for like like a designer who's coming up? Is you can't just make the clothes; you have to be able to like to distribute it and the whole business aspect, right?
Right, yeah, because there's one thing when you're designing and, it's like, oh, I'm making these, cool sweaters, but then if you can't sell them and you can't make any money off of it, you can't continue to do what you're doing.
Right, like if it just sits in your room and it's the most epic thing ever, but you don't know how to get it out there, it's like, what's the point?
Exactly.
That's crazy. So that's insane. Macy's Fashion Incubator, so that's done. And what are you doing now? Like, are you getting your stuff and trying to get your stuff in stores? You had mentioned like manufacturing. Like, what's the next step for you now? Because it kind of seems like, from my opinion, like you're definitely not at the beginning. Like, it seems like you're like the mid, almost like full way. I don't know. Like, where do you feel like you're at?
Where I'm at is trying to get everything manufactured and placed in different stores. That's really what the goal towards the end of the year is. It's a little difficult when you're trying to do things the right way. So, like, trying to get things
way.
Yeah, trying to get things done, made in New York type of thing. Just because it's so expensive and the price points are so high, and then your target market shrinks. So, as far as trying to be profitable at the same time, that's what's.
So now the focus is like you getting your clothes into like mainstream consumers' hands.
Right.
Like, so into like boutiques, right? Into, I don't know. I feel like it's a good time though. Like, online boutiques have never been bigger.
Right.
Like, they are literally destroying the retail market. I don't know how much you know about that, but there's like all of this talk about fashion boutiques just completely crushing. Yeah, like the brick and mortar ones that they're
Right.
shutting down because they can't compete with all these e-commerce brands.
Saks Gendel just closed down, and they've been.
What did?
Saks Gendel. It's
I
a.
can't afford it, so I don't buy it.
It's a boutique in Maryland, and that had been up for years, and it just closed recently. So
It's
it's.
the e-commerce.
Mhm.
Okay, but back to what we were saying. So you're at the manufacturing point. I want to kind of just give you the stage, but before that, is there any like sort of advice that you have for anyone who's like is in school doing fashion right now? Because I know people in the VCU or the Richmond or Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia, and I'll probably edit that a little bit. Who are fashion? There's tons of fashion programs here on the DC East Coast. Like, is there any advice you give to them? Any strategies? Like, what do you have to say to them?
I think probably the biggest one is get an internship and find a mentor, because it's easier to learn from other people's mistakes than make those mistakes yourself and then spend tons of money into something that isn't going to get you anywhere. When I was finishing up school, I worked for an independent designer. Her name is Allison Izu in Hawaii. And she's a local designer, and it was a small business, so I kind of learned what.
So she showed you the ropes.
Right. So I kind of learned how things should be done a little bit, and then as far as finding a mentor in the business aspect of it, because as a designer you can't do everything.
Yeah, as anyone who's creative, you can't do everything yourself.
Right, and I think it drains you too. Like if you're so focused on just the business and the marketing and finances, like the creativity just kind of.
Something's got to give. Yeah, something's got to give. So you're definitely saying that learn the business, find a mentor, and how does someone find a mentor? Like that seems like a hard thing to do.
I think that all starts with the networking. Like you go to school, you get
network.
an
So network,
internship,
like
and then you start
networking is a big thing. So
Yeah,
networking's a big thing.
Very big.
Because that seems to be a common thread between like you and even like the blogs I've interviewed. It's like build your network.
Right.
So to find a mentor, build your network.
Because as a designer, you have to learn to network with models, photographers, and that's just part of it. It doesn't even include the business aspect of it.
Yeah, and that's like just everything outside of you just making the stuff.
Right.
Like there's like a business to the business. That's
Exactly.
So find a mentor, learn a business. Anything else? You got anything else for them? These aspiring students, because they're gonna watch this. I know they're gonna watch this because I'm friends with them, and like I wanted just to grab this moment for them.
And don't expect anything to be done for you. Like you have to work hard, and that means that you need to be out there working and getting yourself out there, and nobody's gonna do it for you.
So you mean like you need to be hustling, grinding,
Right.
Because I know, for instance, like you just came back from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like she's out here traveling like every weekend, from what I know, just like going to fashion shows after fashion show, just like
Yeah, getting your name out, and that's just nobody's gonna do that for you. Like you gotta do it yourself.
There you go. That's some solid advice. Like I feel like it's solid advice. Do you have anything else to add?
Have fun with it. Like it's not. Once it starts being too serious and where it's all work, you lose it all. So you still have to have that passion for it, and
like don't forget why you're doing it.
Right.
You don't want to forget that. That's good. I like that. Well, luckily I still have fun doing photography.
Because I remember like the first fashion show that I did, I was so stressed out and it was like super crazy.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, I just go with it. It's like, shit fucks up. Well, what's the second plan?
Yeah.
How can we work this out?
You just gotta roll with it.
Right. When I was doing the show with the incubator 3 weeks ago, I had 3 models
cool
cancel.
show.
I had 1 model cancel the night before, 2 models cancel the day of. And what do? Well, you just figure it out.
Yeah, make it work.
Right.
What was that? Make it work. Oh God, you guys didn't see that.
Yeah, so just,
Damn,
don't take yourself too seriously, I guess.
Don't take yourself seriously, but be serious and be a killer with the business. Dang, Amanda. Well, I hope all of you guys check out her Instagram or her website. Where would you like them to
And
go?
always be nice to other people, because you never know who that person is or where that person's going to end up.
Dude, that is so true. That is so true. Because, like, your opinions of someone doesn't affect everything. Like, you might think someone might not be somewhere, but then in, like, 2 years, they're working at the agency you've been, or the boutique, or this that you're trying to get into, and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
well.
And you're a lot easier to work with if you're nice.
Yeah. And a tip from me is always be the bigger man in situations. So, like, there's definitely going to be times, no matter what your career, that someone's going to do you dirty. Like, they're going to do you wrong. And and it's gonna come full circle where you have this point to either like be a dickhead, or you could either just like swallow the pill and just like and give them a second chance. And I would urge you to always give them a second chance, because you're gonna lose if you're mean, but also by giving someone a second chance, or even just like, oh, it's cool, like I forgave you, don't worry about it, it's water under the bridge. I think people will just innately like be nicer and over deliver for you.
Right.
You know, like I can't really think of any examples. I mean, besides one where I had like this, something happened in business, and the guy was a douche. It messed up. He came back a month later, like, yo, I really want to work with you. I forgave him, and he ended up spending hundreds of dollars with my e-commerce company. Like, so, I mean, just like a short lesson is just be the bigger man, and like you said, wait, what did you say? I forgot what you said.
Be nice.
And be nice. Be the nice bigger man.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't be a douche.
Don't be a douche. Get that on a shirt. Don't be a douche. Easier said than done for some people.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna go and shoot the second look. Hope you enjoyed this quick aside that I'm doing with people while I'm out. It's probably like a separate video, so like and subscribe. And I'll link her stuff in the bio and everything like that, guys.